Hello, guys. My name is Alvain. I would like you to ring the bell and to click on the subscribe button. Hello, Haneli. Thank you for joining me today. It's really awesome to have you here today. Um, I have been looking forward to this for a while. A lot of the teachers on our page have had some difficulties applying for jobs. And as you know, the market out there is quite a rigorous one and a difficult one to work in at the moment. Relatively saturated as well, so the levels of competition is really high. Um, Haneli, I really try to get to as many of the teachers as I can, but unlike you, I am not a qualified trainer, which is why I appreciate it so much that you took some of your time today to come and help us. And yes, I'm going to ask you a list of questions that I think most of the teachers would like to ask you, so that we can cover some issues that come up all the time. Would you be okay with that? Is that all right?
Yes.
Okay, Haneli, so tell me quickly about yourself and what you do.
All right. So currently, I work on about 5 projects. We do curriculums for the one school, about 1,500 curriculums. I assist teachers with the TEFL and how to basically submit and get that going. Then also, so I'm basically a reseller for a very good and big global recruiter company in the United States. Then also I'm a video editor, so I help a lot of teachers with their self-introduction videos. I'm also a teacher and so there's actually a lot of things that I'm doing, and then obviously I am a trainer as well. I've worked previously by a Chinese company as a trainer, and yes, I noticed that there was a lot of teachers that, they want to perhaps start with online teaching, and then what happens is they've got no idea of, which TEFL should I take, things like that. So I show them, I give them the options. I tell them, you can go with our company or you can go with other ones that I will mention to them. And then after they've completed their TEFL, or most of the times, if they are halfway through the TEFL, they come to me for training. So this is where I basically take the teacher, train them, show them what they need for online teaching, like your computer, your internet, your lights, your headsets, everything, your environment, how to set up your classroom, your background. And then we go into intense training where we basically learn how to do a self-introduction, a proper one, how to get your CV right, what schools are looking for, where to apply, and then how to teach 1-1.
Haneli, sorry for interrupting you here, but for me, this is you've touched on a very sensitive topic and it's a topic that I've raised over and over, and I don't think I could emphasize it enough. So I'm going to raise it again. Do you agree with me that without a really good profile picture and a really outstanding introduction video, that it is almost pointless to apply to a school to which 50 other teachers have applied to? It's nearly impossible.
Yes, to be honest, I'm going to agree with you, Alvain, because you know what? Let's say, for instance, you've never taught online. We know that schools, basically 80% of the time, they want a qualified teacher that has got experience. But, just by looking, they don't really bother with your CV, to be honest with you. When you send your application documents and things, the first thing they look at is your self-introduction. Even me, when I have to recruit teachers for schools, I first look at the self-introduction. If the pronunciation is good, are they alive? Are they full of energy? Especially with the kids, if we're working with the younger learners. So yes, I am going to agree with you. A lot of teachers fail by the self-introduction video. Something that they think they can do on their own. No. We all need help.
No,
even us. We needed help.
Absolutely. I mean, I've lost count of the amount of schools that initially turned me down.
Yes.
And what happens is well, you get rid of your ego very quickly, um, and you start to find the idea of being modest appealing for the first time in your life.
Mm.
And then this whole thing of trial and error starts kicking in, where you realize, if I don't do this and I don't do that, but it's actually a very long list, and it actually takes a very long time for you to acquire the skills yourself through trial and error, to be self-enabling in terms of applying for online jobs. So, I mean, if I knew in the beginning that there were places that were offering services to prepare me more sufficiently for my applications, then I would have been, most likely have been successful a long time ago. Instead, it took me 6 months of earning almost nothing and getting turned down all the time, which is exactly what I want to prevent for the teachers on our page, most definitely to the South African teachers, because I find that the British and American teachers have their own support structures, whereas most of the SAFAs don't have anything that even remotely resembles a support structure, and
Yes.
which is why I started this whole project in December of last year. I mean, all of it obviously isn't for free. I mean, training can't be for free. I try to do as much of it as I can in my free time, but I just can't get to more than 3 teachers at a time. And I am not a qualified trainer. I mean, I have experience in training teachers simply because there was nobody else to do it. And I thought it would be an incredibly good idea to get a qualified trainer to speak to our teachers, because it doesn't matter how many videos I make. Sorry, and I'll give the floor back to you now. But um, I just hope that whoever watches this video realizes that the underlying theme has been from December until now is that if you do not adhere to these rules that exist within the online teaching faculty or jobs search, if you don't adhere to them very strictly, you just won't get employed. And the ones who will employ you, like Native Camp, will offer you a salary or an hourly rate, the equivalent of modern day slavery. I think, in fact, the slaves in Cape Town in the 1800s were 1700s were paid better than $2.3 an hour. I mean, so like I said, I don't even want them to advertise on our page anymore. I just remove it because that is ridiculous. Now,
Yes. Well, definitely, I can definitely say that, if you look at it, teachers are new and they don't know who to trust. So that's also one thing. You need someone that you can trust. So this is a nice thing. At least they are familiar with you. So if you basically, you are now assisting me to get this going. And I mean, if they know that 2 people are working, people that they know, and I've got my own people that knows me as well. These are teachers that are not really on Facebook for the reason of they're already teaching, they are set in their ways, they're teaching every day, so they're not job hunting anymore. So I also decided to ask just a few teachers, maybe 4 or 5, just to send me a video of their experience, of what they felt, how the training went, how the TEFL went, all those kind of things, just to give it a little bit of a support. But Alvin, just to go back to it, it's the training is basically, on the end of the day, what makes it nice is if you're doing training with someone. Online teaching is basically being an idiot. So not everyone is comfortable.
No kidding, hey, no
yes,
kidding.
No. So a lot of people are camera shy. So now they have to stand in front of, maybe if they have to practice now how to do a demo or how to prepare a lesson and how to give class. So this is what one of the training includes is I'm going to teach you and you're going to teach me, and I'm going to tell you where. So the nice part is those things are one-on-one. So the teachers are more comfortable in that way because now they are just being an idiot in front of me. So it doesn't leak out, no one knows about it. This is what the training
And very
is.
little do they know, they assume they'll have to be an idiot in front of at least 40 people they've never met before in their life, and they have to be a convincing idiot. Okay,
yes.
So,
but they are more comfortable. They are more comfortable because now they've practiced. So that's actually, you get a lot of basically you get a lot of self-confidence when you keep on practicing the whole time with your trainer, and this is where the difference comes in. So now you're used to yourself, you're used to seeing yourself, and now when you have to do your introduction, or you have to do your marking class or your demo, then you are quite prepared of what to expect as well.
Haneli, I think you also mentioned in a meeting that we had that you also prepare them for the Q&As.
Yes.
You know, for the potential questions that interviewers would ask them. In addition to which, you said you'll make sure that they conform to the list of things, like
yes.
the
KPIs,
lighting, the sound.
Yes, KPIs are very important by a company. They're always looking to these things. So there is a structure which basically all the companies are following, depending on the platform that they're using. So I do train them on the common platforms that they use for teaching. So yes, definitely. Okay, so basically, Alvain, in a nutshell, I highly recommend that teachers actually join the training program. We are going to, just for your page, I think it's going to be good to get the teachers to get a good promotional price, which we will discuss with them for the reason that we have got competition out there. So yes, so we can include that as well.
Okay, so Haneli, then there was one or two questions that are okay. So you're going to offer the training to the teachers who are interested in doing that, which is fantastic. I think just to make it clear, part of the training includes doing the video editing for them and making sure that they have profile pictures, or how does it work?
Everything.
Because I can imagine people will ask that.
Yes. So basically, okay. Alvain, everything where you start. So as soon as you completed your TEFL, you come to me and we start immediately with training, all right, with me and with you. All right, so first thing is we look at the self-introduction video, we get that going, we get the classroom going, the computer, what type of computer do you need, your internet, how to test your internet, all those kind of things, the normal things by starting. All right, so those also include your self-introduction and your CV. So just how to set up your CV, because obviously it's not going to be the same, and how to promote yourself also in your self-introduction video, just not to say that, you know, I've got no experience, but by saying different words, also not to include where you are from. I always tell the teachers this, although you are from South Africa, don't mention it in your video, because we want them to have a reason to go to your CV, to go look at your CV. So as soon as they start getting interest in your CV, it means that you are in a psychological way one step in front of them. So we're trying to do that as well. And then obviously after that, we start with the intense training, how to teach, where to start. I mean, we basically take you by your hand and say, okay, now we go up until the hiring process.
Okay, so basically this is a one-stop shop. Everything that you would usually get from 3 different or 4 different sources, you can just go get it from Haneli. Now Haneli will sort you out, and she's like, she knows it. Okay, well guys, she did all my stuff, and like I said, I mean, you've known me for about 6 months plus months now. I have advertised some schools, but I've never actually advertised any individual before. Usually because of what Haneli said earlier on, is you don't know who to trust, but it's quite easy when somebody has done your stuff for you. It's really easy to stand and vouch for them as well. So she did my introduction video and she's referred me to schools. That is also what she does. She knows the whole world. Hell, you have no idea. She really knows. Like, I'd say to her, no, I spoke to this company. She's like, grabs this document folder out and she's like, oh yes, yeah, I know them, I worked for them and I did this for them. And so she really knows everybody. I'm quite jealous because I thought I knew a lot of people. Actually, that's why pride is a sin. And then she came along and I'm like, yeah, okay, so you need to revisit your definition of knowing a lot of people. So yeah, and she's friendly and she's polite. That does help, Haneli. Unlike the average, I would say, Southeast Asian trainer. They're less friendly in my experience, and they're less and they're not so capable of speaking fluent, coherent English either. Although they claim to be able to speak English. This is a whole debate that we could have about that. But and then and then Haneli, so okay, so I think everybody understands what you are offering. And I just want to say in the end, guys, the reason why I'm posting this video is because at the moment I am so overworked that I barely had time to shoot this video with Haneli. I mean, this morning, it's now, what is this, 11:30. I've been up since 7 o'clock this morning. My afternoon is booked. I've got classes all the way into the evening. And these classes are hour classes, hour and a half classes. So it's not those Chinese 25-minute teacher, I love you, teacher classes. It's really intense classes. So, yeah, Haneli, I do appreciate that you could push me and make some space for me and my teachers. Well, I can't call them my teachers, but like the other Safas. And yes, and guys, this is really the next step. I mean, I will still try to help people randomly, but I showed Haneli my inbox the other day. The old people had a way of explaining it, but then I don't think I should put that on a video because it could be controversial. But it's a mess, and I can't get to all of them. I just don't, because I that's not what I do for a living. I'm not a trainer by profession. Haneli, however, is. And because she helped me with my stuff, I trust her. Okay, so I had no issues with her. There was no afterwards feeling of, okay, I just spent money on something that was not worth it. It was in fact so good that I invited her to do the video with me. And yes, I'm full of nonsense when it comes to stuff like that, because I spend a lot of hours training people that I often don't know or ever want to know. And so I use my money as efficiently as I can to get the best results. I think doing what Haneli is offering is a way out of poverty for a lot of people. Because my here and there video, I hope it has helped people. I really do. Because I would feel terrible if I go to bed at night and know that I've shot like 6 hours worth of videos that did nothing. But even if it just helped one person, no, I do know a few people that I've helped. You know, they don't speak to me anymore because they're employed, and so that is a good
that's
thing.
That's usually what happens.
Yes, the ones they're like, thank you. They're like, the day they get the job,
Yes.
like, thank you. You never hear from them again. Never hear from. But I am happy with that deal. As long as they get a job, ultimately that is the thing. And I know a lot of you guys out there. Sorry, I'm almost done. I just a shout out to all of you guys who are suffering. I did as well, and I'm just so glad that I got into this industry. Haneli, I will never teach in class, and never is a long time. But it is very unlikely that I would teach in class again. Unless I'm like 50 years old and they offer me a professorship at a university. Then I'll probably have no hair left and grey. Well, the nice thing about having no hair is you can't be grey. As you see, a cloud has a silver lining. Anyway, so guys, you can contact Haneli. I will drop her information on the post. If you have any questions, I'm going to leave the comments section open. So you can either comment on the page where I post this, or you can comment on the YouTube videos comment section. You can choose. If you have additional questions, put those into the comment box as well. And I am going to really work hard on getting Haneli to shoot another video with me next week, where we're going to address another topic, okay? Where I would like you to have a conversation with me about certain platforms, what you think, and how to get the best possible hourly rate. Okay? Because those are recurring topics on our page. Haneli, be safe, okay? And thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'm sure most of the other teachers really appreciate your time. All right.
Hi there. I'm one of Haneli's students and I'm privileged to share this information with you. My journey with Haneli started in March of this year when I was following a new career in online teaching. I'd like to share some good attributes about Haneli's training. She is totally easy to get along with, which I feel is especially important in training. She's passionate in her role as a trainer, in training you until you reach your milestone. She is trustworthy, and I'd like to share that experience with you quickly. I was so silly, I overpaid some fees into her account last month, and she paid me back the difference without ever hesitating and without asking any questions. She's also patient and friendly, which is another good attribute for a trainer. That is the way I feel. And my journey with her continues, and I would totally recommend her to any private person or any institution, and she'd be a great asset. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.
Hi, my name is Tamika. I'm from Johannesburg, South Africa. I'm in the process of completing my TEFL certificate through Global TEFL UK. I first heard about Haneli through a Facebook advert, which then led me to a Skype discussion with Haneli, where we discussed all my concerns and questions about the TEFL certificate. Once we had that discussion, Haneli took me through the registration process, where she then showed me how to log in on the website, how to navigate the system, where my modules are, what my modules entail, and what is expected from me. Haneli also offered an intensive training along with the TEFL certificate. Haneli is a bubbly and a friendly person, which helps you with your confidence, as well as making the experience as a whole more enjoyable. Navigating through the system is quite easy, which once again creates that excitement while doing the TEFL course, as it is easy to understand and it isn't difficult to actually grasp the concepts of what is being taught through this TEFL course.